Have you ever stopped to pay attention to that voice inside your head, that silent conversation that never stops? This voice is responsible for much more than you imagine. It can be shaping your reality, influencing your emotions, and even deciding your success or failure. In this video, we will explore how thoughts and feelings act as true commands to the universe and how you can take control of that inner voice to transform your life from the inside out. Get ready to discover hidden truths about your mind and how to take the first step toward living more consciously and powerfully. Today, we dive into a fascinating topic: the power of thought combined with quantum physics, and how this combination can unlock the divine potential that exists within each of us. Don't forget to like, comment on how this video made you feel, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content that will help you unlock your true potential. The power of thought. Beyond what we imagine, since time immemorial, humans have sought answers to profound questions. Who are we? Why are we here? What is the meaning of life? Amid these questions, we encounter something modern science is beginning to unveil, and spirituality has always affirmed our thoughts have immense power. They are not just mental reflections but forces that shape our reality. If you've ever stopped to observe, you would really notice that our thoughts act like a command sent to the universe. They influence our feelings, decisions, even the events around us. Each is as if each thought creates an energy wave that vibrates within the infinite field of possibilities. Quantum physics. The science of possibility. Quantum physics reveals that the universe is not made up solely of solid, predictable matter. At the subatomic level, reality is fluid and full of potentials. Particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously, a phenomenon called superposition. According to quantum experiments, simply observing a particle can determine its state. In other words, the act of observation interferes with the reality that manifests. This leads us to a revolutionary conclusion. Consciousness, the act of observing, thinking, is not separate from the universe. Each is intertwined with each. Our thoughts are like lenses that focus on a specific possibility among the infinite ones the universe offers. The divine criterion. The availability of the heart. But you may be wondering, how does God choose people to fulfill special missions? Is there a divine criterion to raise the chosen ones? Surprisingly, the answer is simple and profound. God needs our availability. It doesn't matter if you have extraordinary skills or special gifts. What matters is the openness of your heart. This availability requires sincere surrender, a real willingness to be a channel for the divine to act through you. Often, what blocks us is this so-called automatic thinking, that inner voice that reacts repetitively, based on traumas, fears, and limiting beliefs. The challenge of automatic thinking. Automatic thinking is like a mental programming we inherit from our history in biology. It works like an autopilot that keeps us trapped in old patterns, sometimes negative, and that don't even correspond to the current reality. Have you noticed how, when facing a challenge, your mind automatically imagines the worst scenario or repeats stories from the past that no longer make sense? This habit limits us and pulls us away from our true essence. Breaking free from autopilot. A conscious path. What we call autopilot is a metaphor for that mental mode where our thoughts, emotions, and reactions happen almost without conscious control. Each is like driving a car without really paying attention to the road, simply following routines, habits, and pre-programmed responses. This automatic mode arises as a survival mechanism. It saves energy, prevents us from being overwhelmed, and keeps us safe by instinctively reacting to stimuli. However, this system can also trap us in repetitive cycles of suffering, fear, anxiety, and patterns that no longer serve us. Recognizing the autopilot. The first step to breaking free from this automatic mode is recognizing that we are in it. This may seem simple, but it requires practice and attention. Ask yourself, how many times a day do you notice yourself reacting without thinking? How often do you do something out of habit, without really wanting to? Have you ever felt trapped in recurring automatic negative thoughts? The power of the conscious pause. One of the most effective tools to break the autopilot is the conscious pause. Whenever you notice you being swept away by an automatic flow of thoughts or emotions, stop for a moment. Take a deep breath. Pay attention to what you are feeling, thinking, without judgment. Practical example: imagine someone said something that deeply irritated you. On autopilot, your reaction might be immediate anger, judgment, aggressive response. But if you apply the conscious pause, you can breathe, observe the emotion that arose, and choose to respond calmly, with empathy, or even decide not to respond at that moment. Tools to cultivate consciousness. Mindfulness meditation. Regular meditation practice helps develop full attention, or mindfulness being present in the moment with acceptance, without judgment. This strengthens the ability to notice autopilot before it takes over. Emotions in Thoughts Journal. Writing about your feelings and thoughts daily helps bring them into awareness, allowing you to analyze patterns and triggers that activate automatic reactions. Internal questioning. Constantly ask yourself, is this thought, reflex useful to me? Does it correspond to the current reality? What do I really want to choose right now? Breathing techniques. Conscious breathing is a quick and powerful way to return to the present and exit the automatic reaction state. Benefits of conscious freedom. By freeing yourself from autopilot, you gain greater control over your life and emotions. Reduce stress and anxiety caused by impulsive responses. Develop healthier relationships based on empathy and understanding. Expand your creative capacity and problem-solving skills. Connect more deeply with your purpose in the divine. The transformative power of consciousness. When we talk about consciousness, we refer to something much broader than just being awake or alert. Consciousness is the essence of our being, the ability to perceive, reflect, and choose. It is the divine spark within each of us that connects our inner world with the vastness of the universe. The transformative power of consciousness lies in its ability to reconfigure our reality from the moment we become attentive observers of what happens inside and outside us. When we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions without blindly identifying with them, we open space for real and deep change. This happens because, from a quantum perspective, the act of observing alters the state of what is being observed. Therefore, consciousness is not passive, it is active, creative, and possesses a power that exceeds what men imagine. How does this manifest in daily life? Imagine you are facing a challenge at your work or in your personal life. Your automatic thought might be, "I'm not capable, this will never work, or I always fail." If you are not conscious, these thoughts create a reality of fear, insecurity, and stagnation. However, when you develop self-awareness and recognize these thoughts, something powerful happens. You can choose to react differently. Instead of surrendering to discouragement, you can say to yourself, "I am learning, I have the ability to overcome this challenge. Every step takes me closer to success." This simple shift in attitude, born from active consciousness, generates an internal vibrational change that starts attracting new possibilities. You begin to act differently, notice opportunities that previously went unnoticed, and create results more aligned with your divine potential. Practical examples of consciousness transformation. Meditation in presence. Practicing meditation strengthens the ability to observe your thoughts without clinging to them. This conscious pause reduces the power of negative thoughts. It expands your connection with the present moment, the only moment where real creation happens. Self-compassion. Being conscious also means being kind to yourself. When you notice a mistake or failure, you don't harshly judge yourself. Instead, you embrace it with love and use the experience to learn and grow. This attitude transforms the vicious cycle of guilt and self-criticism into an upward spiral of evolution. Creative visualization. Using consciousness to vividly and positively imagine what you want to manifest helps align mind, emotion, and action. This practice activates the nervous system to seek paths that lead to the realization of your dreams. The collective impact of individual transformation. Each conscious transformation benefits not only the individual experiencing it but also reverberates through the collective energy field. Just as quantum particles are interconnected, our consciousness affects the human collective. When you choose to raise your consciousness, you contribute to raising the whole. This is one of the most powerful ways to fulfill the divine work, not only by changing your own reality but by inspiring others to do the same. Till finish, I want you to reflect. What have I been focusing my thoughts on lately? Do they strengthen me or limit me? Am I open to being a channel for divine potential? What steps can I take today to change my inner vibration? Remember, you are the observer and creator of your reality. By awakening to this power, you contribute to a more conscious, loving, and abundant reality for yourself and for the world. If this video touched your heart, leave your comment below. Tell me what impacted you the most. Share with your friends, a family, and of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thank you very much for being here, and see you in the next video.